The Colosseum is arguably one of the most iconic buildings in the world. Its history dating all the way back to the 1st century AD. The idea of the Flavian Amphitheatre, as it was originally called, came about when the emperor at the time, Vespasian, wanted to give the people of Rome something to celebrate after years of civil war had torn the empire apart. Construction began in 70 AD and was completed 7 years later by his son, Titus. The Colosseum was built on the site of an artificial lake constructed during the rule of the Emperor Nero, who infamously set fire to Rome in 64 AD. It was his intention to build a massive palace complex there. But after so much of the city had been destroyed, he decided instead to erect a stadium and name it after himself, appropriately enough, since he was a former actor. However, after Nero's untimely demise, the project was scrapped. It just so happened that this piece of land was claimed by the newly appointed Emperor Vespasian, who saw an opportunity to win over the hearts and minds of the people by giving them an even bigger and better stadium. That's right, Vespasian took what Nero had started and made it his own, turning a small theatre into the largest amphitheater in the entire empire. The new structure would be 8 stories high and have 4 distinct architectural faces, each more grand than the last. Now, before we continue, let's take a moment to appreciate just how big this thing was. The Colosseum could hold up to 80,000 spectators, making it nearly twice the size of the modern-day Yankee Stadium. The sheer scale of the project was staggering and required the labor of thousands of men to complete. But how did they do it? Well, let's find out. In order to construct such a large amphitheater, the Romans needed to use new and innovative techniques. One of the most important aspects of Roman construction was the use of concrete, which allowed for much larger structures to be built without the need for large amounts of labor. Concrete was made from a mixture of volcanic ash, lime, aggregate, and water. This mixture was then poured into wooden forms and left to dry for several weeks. The resulting material was so strong that it could withstand earthquakes and even the occasional battering ram. Another important aspect of Roman construction was the use of the arch and the vault. The arch was used to distribute weight over a wider area, while the vault was used to create large open spaces. These techniques were used extensively throughout the Colosseum to create its many arches and vaults. The construction of the Colosseum was also a feat of engineering. The Romans had to develop new ways to transport large amounts of materials to the construction site and then lift them to great heights. They accomplished this by using ramps, levers, and pulleys. They also had to develop new tools to cut and shape the stone and concrete. The Colosseum was finally completed in 80 AD by Titus's brother Domitian. It was a massive success and immediately became the center of Roman life. The emperor hosted games and other public events in the Colosseum to entertain the masses and win their favor. Over the centuries, the Colosseum fell into disrepair, but it remained a popular tourist destination. In the Middle Ages, it was used as a prison and a fortress. In the 18th century, it was restored and opened to the public as a museum. Today, the Colosseum is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Rome. Visitors from all over the world come to see this magnificent structure and learn about its fascinating history. The construction of the Colossus was a monumental undertaking, but the results were truly spectacular. It stood as a symbol of Roman power and grandeur for centuries, and today it remains one of the most iconic landmarks in the world. So there you have it, a brief history of the Colosseum in Rome. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more historical tales. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.